On the variety show, I braced myself and called my ex-boyfriend, "Can you lend me $500? The other end replied, "You've got some nerve asking that." The next second, a large transfer message popped up. Your account received $50 million from account ending in 2222. A sweet and satisfying story unfolded to the very end. The variety show was broadcasting live, with the host requiring guests to borrow money from their top contact for the day's event funds. I opened my phone, and when I saw the top contact, I was speechless for a moment. Damn, it's my ex-boyfriend, and I'm the one who dumped him, even boldly swearing an oath that we'd never see each other again in this lifetime. My phone was projected onto the big screen, revealing my clear note for him, AAA Leon. The on-site guests subtly froze upon seeing this name. Is this the Williams family's second son I'm thinking of? Who? A celebrity? He's way more impressive than celebrities. Genuine old money, with ancestors who were filthy rich. Once, he accidentally showed his face at a business summit, making countless sisters drool over his photo. He's dominated the #1 spot on the business elite ranking every year since then and still holds it now. Elite ranking? OMG, I'm so hyped. Give it a rest, he has no time to lower himself to associate with shallow celebrities like Vivian. Spot on, even if it really is him, judging by Vivian's awkward look, she likely tried to latch on but failed, afraid the call would expose her bluff. Live comments surged uncontrollably. The host, loving the drama, chimed in, "Netizens are super curious, is this Mr. Leon everyone's picturing?" I was about to deny it outright when nearby, Rose sidled up. Looking at the profile picture, it's him, but I can't be totally sure. Seeing she'd grabbed everyone's attention, she pretended to be shocked and covered her mouth. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Because the person I'm going to call is him too. Vivian, you go first. She shook her phone at me with a sickly, sweet smile. The camera perfectly captured her top contact note, AAA Leon. The host sounded amazed. Your note. Rose immediately covered her phone like she'd just woken up, flashing a shy grin. Oh, I just wrote it randomly, shouldn't have shown everyone. Me? Wow, such a juvenile and ambiguous nickname, what a show off. I couldn't be bothered to deal with her, just gave a half-hearted smile. Then, under the glare of tens of thousands watching online and in person, I gritted my teeth and dialed the number. The endless busy tone echoed through the studio as an eerie silence spread. Finally, the call connected. The other side stayed quiet. Amplified over the mic, only faint steady breathing and distant muffled chatter were audible. My throat was dry, I steeled myself for small talk. Are you in a meeting? Leon, The man was sparing with words, showing no emotion at all. Is it convenient to talk now? Leon asked. Who the hell do you think you're humming? After all these years apart, I never realized you had devolved into a creature capable only of monosyllabic sounds. The guests all turned their inquisitive gazes this way. Rose blinked her eyes even more, with a sympathetic look on her face. Good grief, end this farce already. I was hoping to borrow $500 from you. If you don't want to, forget it. Even without a visual, I could sense a pause of silence on the other end, followed by a low chuckle escaping his lips. You've got some nerve asking. Leon's voice dipped at the end, like a clear stream in early spring when the ice hasn't fully melted, the hint of amusement tinged with chill. Sure enough, the next second, beep beep beep. The call cut off completely, clean and decisive. Oh, come on, man. The CBD office towers are practically your family's. Won't even lend $500 to your ex-girlfriend, how stingy can you be? Under everyone's scrutiny, I forced out 2 awkward laughs. Sorry, I'm not really close with him. Rose patted my shoulder understandingly. Leon is usually pretty busy around this time, he might not have the bandwidth for small stuff. No worries, I'll give it a shot. As long as we get the money in the end, you're a pro at playing the fake angel. My issue is minor, but yours is a big deal, huh? Just like being stuck after endless haggling on a cheap group buy app. If it weren't for me wanting to keep my history with Leon private, do you think you'd still be strutting around? I pursed my lips. Go ahead then. What the hell, Vivian didn't gain an edge with the big shot, and now she's giving Rose the cold shoulder and venting on her? Clearly Rose was just trying to defuse the situation. Nobody else thinks what she said was kinda off? Yeah, not snapping back immediately shows real restraint. You two up top are ridiculously thin-skinned. Rose has always been faster with her mouth than her thoughts, but no real malice, everybody knows it. Vivian's just jealous, she couldn't land the guy who became Rose's devoted suitor, no wonder she's triggered. Yep, that passive-aggressive queen is waiting to get shut down. I tuned out the barrage of comments and focused intently on Rose's performance. Her call connected within seconds, a stark contrast to mine. Damn man, you've made me lose all face. What is it? Leon's tone was even flatter than before. Brother Leon, I'm out having afternoon tea right now. But my card somehow got frozen, could you send me a bit for an emergency? Her drawn-out delivery added a hint of coquetry to the words. Leon paused for a moment and said, "Got it." What the? You've got a new lover right after we broke up? Fine, you're really something. I almost gritted my teeth to hold back my furious expression. The scheming production crew, in order to stir up drama, didn't remove my screen projection. Instead, they put it side by side with Rose's on the big screen, taking up both sides. At this moment, everyone was holding their breath and staring intently, afraid of missing any transfer information. Ding, your account has received 10,000 RMB. The last 4 digits of the sender's account are 7144. The notification sound came from Rose's phone. She looked back with a hint of pride. Vivian, we've got the money. Right after she finished speaking, another notification sound overlapped. A message popped up at the top of my phone interface on the big screen. Frowny face, your account has received 50 million RMB. The last 4 digits of the sender's account are 2222. What the? Account ending with 2222? It's the private card Leon usually uses. My mind went blank, and I clicked on the message. Everyone saw the transfer record. All the guests and the host gasped in shock and stared at the string of numbers, unable to come back to their senses for a long time. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions? Leon, are you crazy? It's bad enough that you hung up the phone out of the blue, but now you transfer me 50 million? I've only seen this much money at funerals. Do you want to send me straight to the afterlife? To be the captain of the security team with the Grim Reapers? If netizens dig this out, with this outrageous amount, it's hard not to be thought that we're having an affair. Haha, got slapped in the face, huh. When Rose asks for money, Leon won't refuse and will transfer it right away. The setting of the innocent young actress and the business tycoon is so addictive. Bullshit. Vivian received 50 million at once. Who cares about Leon's 10,000? My God, I can hardly recognize the digit 0 anymore. Who transferred the money to Vivian? Is it also Leon? No wonder the atmosphere was so strange when they were on the phone just now. Fans of Vivian's family, open your eyes and see. The account numbers are different. Stop mooching off others. Laughing out loud. Vivian might be kept by someone. I remember she's always had good resources. So it's reasonable to assume that she's hooking up with a $50 million sugar daddy while being attracted to Leon because he's young, single and rich, trying to get with him. Too bad, Leon doesn't even look at her. Ugh, are the people in the comments all bots? Can't you live without idolizing men and making conspiracy theories? Please, not everyone is eager to curry favor with the rich. Those must be Rose's fans, right? I can only say that fans are like their idols. Just before being drowned by the negative comments, my survival instinct kicked in. I forgot. It's the studio's settlement day today. I must have made a fool of myself. Rose looked over with suspicion, her eyes unfriendly. I returned a cold expression. Believe it or not, damn it. It's not my fault anyway. You'd better go find Leon. Once filming wrapped up, I walked into the garage with my assistant. Our usual minivan wasn't there. Only a silver and black Maybach S was parked in the center, engine still running. The window rolled down, and Leon leaned lazily in the back seat, his gaze distant. Get in. What for? Isn't $5 million enough for Vivian to grace me with a dinner? I didn't move, and he didn't either. The car blocking the garage exit stood out sharply. Damn, dragging this out wouldn't help me at all. Holding my breath, I plopped into the seat and slammed the door with a deafening bang. How did you know I was here? Leon raised his hand to lift the partition between us. Two people borrowing money back to back, I'm not that clueless. And don't forget, your variety show contract is signed with a company I hold shares in. Easy enough to find you. I stared at the scenery outside and sneered. Oh, you remember that pretty well. I thought you had someone else on your mind now. After a brief chuckle, Leon spoke slowly. His father is a business partner who asked me to keep an eye on her. But she was dishonest and caused today's trouble. I can use this to squeeze some cash out of her dad, a big fish for a $10,000 bait. Worth it. Plus, it was my assistant who transferred the money to her. I didn't lay a finger on it. Wow, that desperate for money? Going bankrupt? Serves him right. I didn't know why I was angry. Every time he spoke, I had to retort. Leon didn't get annoyed, his tone somewhere between resigned and exasperated. Yeah, damn broke. When someone skipped town, they didn't even leave me the fixtures. The bathtub, toilet, solid wood front door, even the berry pink bedsheet got snatched away. If I don't earn some soon, I'll be sleeping on the street. As he said this, he gave me a pitiful look. His usually sharp dark eyes reflected an unsettlingly gentle light. A chill ran through me. Damn, this is a long story. The first time I met Leon was at some fancy dinner. Back then, I was new to the scene, and my agent forced me into a high-profile gathering. Supposedly networking, but really, just drinking duty. The place was smoky and chaotic, and the person at the head table was half hidden in amber shadows, looking bored. Couldn't make out his face clearly. People kept coming up to chat with him, and those jade-like hands kept lifting the wine glass set in the light. After several rounds of drinks, the liquor level hadn't dropped at all. Of course, this had nothing to do with me. I was worn out dealing with Quentin beside me. He was groping me while making up all sorts of excuses to pour me alcohol. Some sleazy guys even egged us on to drink a wedding toast together. Vivian won't drink? Do you look down on Quentin, or have you lost your place because so many are chasing you? Just look down on you, so what? Damn it, I'm not putting up with this. I flipped my hair and struck a flirtatious pose. That's right, quite a few are chasing me. Which one do you want to hear about first? Song Yen from Jing City or Leon from High City? Suddenly, the dinner party fell eerily quiet around me. Even Quentin, drunk as he was, sat down and started fidgeting nonstop. Almost everyone turned to look at me, their expressions varied. Oh no, I was just making it up. These two are like myths, rarely seen, no public photos exist. I only knew about them because my agent had grilled me on social directories. For others, details about habits, love lives, and tastes are all there. But for these two, the information is thin, just names. Birth dates are unknown. Even the characters for the name Ningling are doubtful. It was labeled multiple ways before they gave up and used pinyin instead. I was just trotting out these deities to bluff. What, you all know them? Dozens of stares made me nervous, my throat suddenly dry. While I racked my brain to cover it up, a crisp sound cut through. The person at the head seat tapped the table, his tone leisurely. Since you admitted it, come sit over here. What? Who are you, Song Yen or Leon? I pretended to be calm and sat beside him. Those piercing eyes saw through my disguise. Miss Vivian, guess if my surname is Song or Williams? I choked out, I guess you're the better-looking one. He laughed, then led my drunken self out of the private room. The cold wind cleared my head a little. Leon looked down at me with hands in his pockets. I helped you. How do you plan to repay me? I blinked, patted my chest, and said, sign a gamble agreement with me. You give me resources, and I'll make you heaps of money. I'm beautiful and professionally talented, I'll definitely be famous. He laughed again, more animated than before. Sometimes being overly upright isn't necessary. But you're good like this. Being young back then, I didn't grasp the true meaning. But later, Leon never mentioned the gamble agreement again. I was short on money but managed to sign a contract with a company strongly associated with him. Resources kept pouring in. Only then did I realize I'd found myself a sugar daddy. Well, whatever. Leon is rich, handsome, and a bit of a simp. It seems I'm the one getting the better end of the deal. I started trying hard to play the role of a gold digger to please him. And he treated me better and better. So well that I started having unrealistic fantasies. Until I heard he was going to have an arranged marriage. In a fit of anger, I sent him a long breakup message and then ran off with my fortune. That day, I hired 35 Hualala trucks. It was quite a spectacle, and I felt so vindicated. I, Vivian, got lost in the memories. The Maybach had already driven into the lakeside manor where Leon doesn't usually live. He walked around the car and opened the door for me. I didn't react, so he leaned over and pinched my cheek with his fingers. Finally realizing you're heartless? You're the heartless one. I retorted instinctively with a soft snort. Leon nodded seriously. Yeah, true. But at least I wouldn't come up with such outrageous reasons to break up. Need me to help you recall? He took out his phone and opened our chat history. Then he spoke again, like a heartless robot reading a script. Everyone in your circle calls it. I'm just an actress, maybe not even worthy of that. I don't want to be a gold digger anymore. I don't want to be trapped in a fancy cage. The best ending for us is for you to stay on high and me to go back to nature. Let's never see each other again. How can I be jealous when I'm just a side character? I'm just a passerby, and I've long since accepted my fate. Ah! Shut up! I was so ashamed and angry that blood rushed to my head. I lunged at him to grab the phone. Leon effortlessly picked me up and carried me into the house like a child. I calmed down in his safe and warm embrace. I asked him sullenly, "What on earth are you up to? Can't you tell? I sorted myself out and then came to sort you out. Come on, let's deal with today's business first. Tell her about our relationship." Without me noticing, he'd already called Rose and held the phone up to my mouth. I clearly heard her sweet voice on the other end. "Leon, you actually called me today. I'm so happy. Who am I? Where am I? What should I say? How embarrassing." I looked at Leon in shock. He looked calm, raising his eyebrows to signal me to say whatever I wanted. The long silence made Rose a little confused. "Leon?" "Ahem, it's me, Vivian." "Vivian? How could you use Leon's phone to call me?" I racked my brain and finally came up with a plausible excuse. "I think I left my phone in the dressing room at the studio. Just now I happened to run into Leon and borrowed his phone to give you a call. I was thinking maybe you hadn't left yet. Can you help me find my phone?" Leon stifled a laugh as he listened to me spin this tale. I annoyedly pinched his waist. Rose was stunned for a few seconds. "Oh, okay, no problem." Getting the reply, I fumbled to hang up the phone. Leon leaned in closer, his voice lazy. "Baby, after the call, you could check your phone while you're at it. I've been so good." "You did that on purpose." I turned off the screen and jumped out of his embrace. "Of course. That way, no matter how slow she is, she should figure out our relationship." Oh no, is her brother really powerful? Everyone else relies on their dads, what am I supposed to rely on? By offending her like this, will I get blacklisted? I was hopping with anxiety. Leon pulled me back, his expression serious. "You can rely on me. You're not anything to me." I mumbled, not daring to look at him. Leon straightened up, placing his right hand on his hip. Now let's settle this. Who told you I was your sugar daddy?" I cleared my throat. Well, that's what it's like in novels." "Leon?" He was clearly furious. He took a deep breath to keep his composure. "Go out and ask around, what kind of sugar daddy spends his free time playing dress-up games with his girlfriend, not allowed to go to bed until she's satisfied. What kind of sugar daddy would redecorate the whole house to his girlfriend's liking, lying on pink sofas and pink sheets every day? What kind of sugar daddy would write a 5,000-word apology without any dignity when his girlfriend throws a little tantrum and it can't even be repetitive? I whispered back, I thought all that was just part of the role play. Leon widened his eyes in disbelief. Vivian, you've practically trained me into a dog, and you call that role play? He paused for 2 seconds to calm down. Do you get it now? I'm not any sugar daddy, I'm your boyfriend, your future husband. I nodded slightly. Then I spoke up sheepishly, but I heard you're going to have an arranged marriage with someone else. Who did you hear that from now? Leon clicked his tongue, looking like he'd figured it out. The butler at the distant relative's house next door. Leon. Great-aunt, can you listen to me more? Then you're not going to have the marriage alliance? Hearing me ask him, he ruffled my hair. Isn't there my elder brother? One alliance from him is enough. No one dares to control me. Wow, so filial. If you have any other questions, just ask now so you don't have to come back later. Having lost his temper, he said softly. I came up with a tricky idea and asked a question that was like a trap. Why did you help me on our first meeting? Was it because you were attracted to my looks? Leon thought for a while and laughed. Is it possible that it's because among a bunch of strange people, there was a cute little thing who could only bluff, so you stood out? I squinted my eyes. Are you saying I'm not pretty? He leaned closer, his eyes full of more smiles. Pretty, and sweet. A hazy, soapy fragrance surrounded me, making my nose tingle. Hey, what are you doing? You're being a hooligan. After making up with Leon, I returned to my original life rhythm, living a pampered life at home and working hard outside. It was so great. Until one day at an advertising shoot. I could feel the prying eyes from all directions even with my eyes closed while getting my makeup done. What the? Although I'm extremely beautiful, there's no need to stare at me like this. When I looked up, Vivian, my assistant who had just gone out to get coffee, came running back out of breath. Sis, something's wrong. There are rumors on the internet that you have a sugar daddy, and that you're playing the field, constantly flirting with other male actors on the set. I frowned and took the tablet. The entertainment section was in an uproar. It all started when a former high-level executive of a film and television group suddenly came out to expose me. He said I was immoral and sold myself for success. Not only did I rely on a sugar daddy to get ahead, but I also bullied the leaders of my former company. He complained about how hard his life had been all these years. When I took a closer look, wasn't this Quentin, the guy who always liked to drink cross-cup wine with others? How shameless! After he presented some half-true and half-false evidence, a lot of marketing accounts posted a bunch of candid and misinterpreted photos. Like me chatting happily with a young actor, me talking about the script with a male actor in a room, me giving a birthday gift to a top male star alone, and several photos of me getting into a luxury car and frequently going in and out of a luxury mansion. They claimed it was solid evidence that I was two-faced and fickle. Things were already in a mess. Then the fans of Rose seized the opportunity to dig out the incident from the variety show live stream and joined the chaos. Flirting with this one and that one. How disgusting! Get out! She has a big shot backing her up. She's probably a mistress. Which single and unmarried guy would want to be with her? Didn't she take a break last year? Maybe she had a baby out of wedlock for that big shot. Looks like she's about to be dumped. No one's spending money to suppress the hype over such a big deal. On one hand, she's fawning for resources, and on the other, she's messing around outside. Which sugar daddy can put up with that? Sure enough, the masses have sharp eyes. Last time, I said she wasn't a good person. On the show, she publicly said that Leon was at the top of her phone contacts. She probably wanted to force her way up. What a pity. Leon only has Rose in his heart. Yeah, a big shot can surely tell the difference between a genuine innocent girl and a scheming bitch. Don't pass judgment without knowing the whole story. Be kind with your words. Trust Vivian. Trust Vivian. On my almost overrun homepage in Trending Square, my fans were still holding on desperately. The agent called and said that the company couldn't reach Leon and they decided to take a wait and see approach for now. My heart sank. Oh no! Could he have believed the gossip and didn't want to help me? After the shooting, I wrapped my trench coat tightly around me and got into the nanny car to go home. Then I was photographed by the paparazzi who'd been staking out, and I made it onto the hot searches. Hashtag Vivian appears, looking haggard. Hashtag explosive. Hashtag Vivian is alone, suspected to be dumped. Hashtag you guys are really free. I'm as natural as a lotus emerging from clear water. Which eye of yours saw me looking haggard? I lay back on the sofa, sighing. Xiao Xiao handed me 2 melatonin tablets. Sis, it'll definitely be okay. You can sleep soundly tonight. I'll stay here and watch over you. I hugged her. Woohoo, you're still the best. Early the next morning, Xiao Xiao, regardless of anything, pulled me out of the covers while I was sound asleep. Me, Xiao Xiao. I declare you're no longer the best. Xiao Xiao's face flushed with excitement and she ignored my morning grumpiness. Look! Leon! Leon! Hey, Leon? I could say hey, miss too. My mind was still foggy. Xiao Xiao, frustrated, thrust her phone in front of my sleepy eyes. On the screen was a video. Someone somehow managed to track down Leon's whereabouts. The media caught wind of it and blocked him at the airport. The man was in all black, looking worn out from his travels. The flashing cameras made his already pale skin look almost transparent. Leon, for some reason, had the patience to answer questions like he was at a press conference. Reporter, is it true that you're in a relationship with Rose? Leon, who? Don't know her. Reporter, have you heard about Vivian's sugar daddy scandal? Do you know the inside story? Leon, heard about it, and I know because I'm her fiancé. Reporter? Everyone on site seemed to freeze for a second. Then there was a thunderous sound of camera shutters. The reporters immediately changed their tune. What's your opinion on the negative news about your fiancé? Leon, no opinion. I don't think anyone dares to keep her as a mistress, nor do I think she would be interested in any male celebrities. Of course, even if it were the case, she is my fiancé. I gasped and held my breath. Leon's steady voice poured into my ears, lingering for a long time. I pressed the back of my hand against my burning cheeks, forcing myself to keep watching. A reporter asked, is it true that Vivian used my influence to suppress executives at the film company? Leon said, not true. We have obtained the recordings of the incident in question. For follow-up, you can follow the Williams family's official social media account. After saying that, he tilted his head and looked directly into the camera, a faint smile curling on his thin lips. Dear Vivian, according to your biological clock, by the time you see this, I should be almost home, so there's no need to worry about anything anymore. Those eyes looked through the screen, firm yet gentle. I hadn't even had a chance to sneak a laugh when Xiao Xiao next to me transformed into a screaming fan. Ah 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 ah. It's so sweet. I can't take it. This is amazing, I'm born anew. Ah 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 ah. I sighed and shyly covered my face with my hands. The doorbell rang at just the right moment. Xiao Xiao immediately sprang up and smoothed my messy sleep-tousled hair. It must be Leon. Sis, you go open the door looking beautiful, I'm outta here. Watching her flustered back, I reached out dramatically. There's really no need to be so excited. Leon was still in the same outfit from the airport, carrying a chill all over. Seeing me, he tilted his head, his eyes sparkling like a little puppy's. Wagging his invisible tail, he came over clingingly and asked for a hug. Honey, you have no idea how tired I am from flying back overnight from abroad. I pushed him back with my index finger. Spill it, when did I become your fiancé? Did you eat the engagement ceremony and the engagement ring? Leon took the opportunity to hold my hand. It's just circumstances forcing it. Later, even if you want to get engaged in a castle, on a cruise ship, or with a company, I'll agree to it all. Engaged with a company? It's worth billions. Sounds really tempting. Cough cough, serious. I lifted my chin, looking noble and aloof. And the disappearance? Was that also due to circumstances? He raised an eyebrow and chuckled lightly. You figured that out? Clever. Come on, I'm not a real idiot. Even if he really got angry at me over rumors, he wouldn't refuse to answer work calls from the company. There's only one possibility: he was brewing some mischief. Leon entered the kitchen, rolling up his sleeves, and said softly, "Quentin has disappeared for so many years, and now he dares to jump out. Someone must be behind it. Either the other party thinks that my relationship with you is just so, or they think that even if our relationship is good, I'll fly into a rage after learning that you're seeing multiple people at the same time. So they use this trick to bring you down, trying to make you lose both your career and love." I propped my head up and watched Leon preparing breakfast ingredients with ease. His movements were noble, and his muscle lines were distinct. TSK, 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 how delicious he'd look if he wore just an apron without a shirt on. The next second, I got a gentle tap on the head. In front of me was Leon's face, which was up close and full of helplessness. "You're drooling." I quickly raised my hand to manage my image. Cough, cough. Nonsense. I was clearly listening to you seriously. I straightened my expression and continued along with his words. That mastermind behind the scenes is very cautious. They deliberately chose the day you went abroad to cause trouble. It shows that they have a powerful backing and can even bribe those who know your itinerary. So you played along, turned the fake situation into a real one, deliberately went missing, and pretended to be angry. Let the bribed person tip off the mastermind, make them relax their vigilance, and finally take them all down at once. Leon nodded with a smile. That's about it. I rolled my eyes in disgust. Yuck, so mean. I'll have to reconsider your status as my fiancé. But then he suddenly leaned in, our noses almost touching. Your social media accounts have always been in your own hands. You've been so calm and haven't made a statement for so long. Dare you say you don't want to let the matter blow up and send the person behind it to jail? I was left speechless. This guy, does he just study me all day? Leon pecked me on the lips happily and backed off. So we're two of a kind, a perfect match. Are you proud of that? I don't want to be the rat. The next day, when the public opinion had fermented to the point where almost everyone knew about it, the official Weibo account of Langshan Group issued a statement. First, it showed a video of Quentin harassing his subordinate at the dinner table using his position back then, proving that he was fired due to his personal conduct. Then it exposed the mastermind behind him, Rose. She not only instigated Quentin but also pressured the marketing accounts in her network to spread false rumors, which is suspected of slander. Finally, the police in Haicheng accepted the case and started an investigation. The incident finally had a huge reversal. OMG, I thought Rose was just a scheming girl at most, but she's actually a criminal. Waiting for the official announcement. Don't believe or spread rumors. Rose must have offended the capital and got framed. How could such a nice person do this? Guys, stop kicking someone when they're down. Laughing out loud. You guys didn't hold back when scolding Vivian. Don't you feel guilty now? Rose fans are crazy. Your idol is about to go to jail. What a bunch of mobs. Hee hee, am I the only one who doesn't scold anyone and just focuses on shipping the CP? Their public show of love is so sweet. Sister, I get it. I was rolling around in bed when I watched Leon's airport video. Lock them up. Lock them up. Every time Vivian goes out to have fun, Leon will punish her by cuffing her to the headboard. Then he'll kneel on one knee, his eyes slightly red, and say, "Fiancé, do you really not want me? Aw, this is so exciting. Here, pen to you, write fast." These two are absolutely stunning. Wouldn't you drool every day staring at each other's faces? Hee hee. I crossed my legs and leaned back against the bed, scrolling through netizen comments. TSK, TSK, all you fence-sitters, you just follow whichever way the wind blows. But that last comment was spot on. I reached over and pinched Leon's mouth into a fish shape. Honestly, this face of yours is dangerously handsome, I said. It's what lured someone into setting up this whole elaborate scheme. Leon shook his head. It's more than that. The Jones family deals in traditional business, but times are tough economically lately, and they're struggling to keep operations running. If she'd succeeded in snagging me, their company would have gotten a free blood bag, worry-free for everything. As he spoke, he gently nipped my finger with his canine tooth. But you only see my face. Even when we first met and you were drunk, you couldn't stop praising how good-looking I am. Huh? What was that supposed to mean, calling me shallow? I glared fiercely at him, and Leon immediately surrendered. What I meant was, for this face to earn your favor is my honor. That's more like it. Autumn turned to winter. Snowfall in Haishur is almost unheard of. But this year was an exception. Fluttering snowflakes drifted down as Leon led me beneath the streetlights, watching our shadows stretch long. The scene overlapped with one from years ago, our first winter together. Back then, I was a junior in Beijing, studying at university. I'd just starred in a drama that got a bit of buzz, but I was too timid to ask my professors for leave and insisted on attending classes. Leon teased me for being chicken-hearted. Still, he'd make time to fly into Beijing and pull up by my dorm in his car. The campus usually banned private vehicles, but somehow he got in. Beijing's frigid air and the season's first snow blanketed everything in blinding white. I rushed downstairs, shivering like a quail. Leon leaned against the car, dressed lightly with just a sweater under his open black coat, hands in his pockets as bone-dry gusts swirled snowflakes into his damp hair. His gaze met mine, mesmerizing eyes, full lips. I stepped forward to grab his hand. "Why are you dressed so lightly?" "Coming to see a starlet, gotta look sharp," he said, pulling me into a hug with a laugh. "Now neither of us is cold." "Pfft, sweet talker," I pretended to scoff, turning my face away. But he turned me back, serious. "You've got snow on your lashes." I rubbed at my face clumsily, hearing a low chuckle escape him. "Let me." I closed my eyes obediently, waiting for him to brush it off. The next second, his warm lips pressed against my eyelid, lingering tenderly. For a half-second heartbeat, the world paused, and only the frantic thumping in my chest roared. I huffed and stiffened my neck. "What snow? You're clearly using this as an excuse to be inappropriate." Leon mimicked my tone and raised his hands. "This humble commoner wouldn't dare deceive you. The snow just melted from that kiss." He leaned down, pressing his forehead to mine with a low chuckle. The moonlight blurred, streetlights dimming. Enveloped in his embrace, I felt warmth uniquely his. I remember thinking clearly in that moment, I wish we'd be in love during every snowfall to come. Now, that wish came true. Extra story: lately, I've been obsessed with visual romance games. Spending daily on gacha mechanics brought pure joy. Only Leon fell into deep contemplation over the uninterrupted $648 charges on his supplementary card. One day, he finally asked, "So you're using my money to support another man?" I patiently highlighted the key point, a paper man. Leon responded, "Still a man." He then dove into researching rival characters' traits. Endlessly criticizing them in my ear, "This cellist looks pure and harmless but is actually scheming deep down. Calling you sis every day despite being the oldest, don't fall for it. And this one wears the skimpiest outfits. No bottom line, no male virtue, just trying to seduce you." His chanting gave me a splitting headache. "Shut up. I'm pulling now. If your criticism ruins my wish pull, I'll smack you." Leon silently offered his cheek. "You mentioned the reward. What about punishment?" "Aha, get lost." A mischievous idea struck me. I dragged Leon into playing How Much Can You Tolerate My Relationships with the Opposite Sex. Leon remained stoic. "I'm very open-minded, after all, you already maintain 5 paper men. Can we move past this?" I glared and resumed, Level 1, greeting acquaintances. Leon, obviously acceptable. Level 2, he and I have a child. Leon? His brows furrowed in disbelief. Level 3, do you two conquer Earth and defeat the Trisolarans next? I persisted, TSK, no overthinking. Accept Level 2? Leon exhaled slowly, murmuring, "As long as the child is yours. I'll raise it. But, you're not allowed to contact him again." I exclaimed, dragging out my words. "Humph, so you still can't bear it? How petty." Leon gritted his teeth. Fine, I'll endure it. As long as I'm the legitimate wife. I finally couldn't help but burst out laughing. Pfft, ha 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 ha. Who made you like this? Oh, it was me, ha ha ha. While reading the novel, I suddenly jolted upright as if from a deathbed. I've been reborn on the day before my step-sister kills me. In my past life, she stole my husband and harmed my child. She locked me in a pigsty where I was eaten alive. Later I discovered that she used a reincarnation charm to steal all my fortune. Leon, sitting nearby wearing glasses and handling work. He didn't speak, picked up his phone, and made a transfer. Ding dong, your account has received 500,000 yuan. Whoa, that much? Looks like you're fully on board with my revenge. Leon nodded. Yep, as long as it's not some sugar daddy and mistress nonsense, I'm all for it. Also, if it were me, even if your fortune was stolen, I wouldn't marry anyone else. Aw, I know, saying that makes me kind of embarrassed. I happily nestled back into bed. Leon shut his laptop, bent over, his face hovering above me, his tone alluring. Feel like some late-night snacks? What? Crawfish or barbecue? Leon, me. Hey, no, I haven't given my consent yet. The story ends here. Thanks for reading, the next one's even more thrilling.